Okay, today is June 28th, 2024. I'm going to record this video about Chapter 14, Strategy, Balance Scorecard, and Profitability Analysis. The profitability analysis, this part, I have already finished a video and uploaded on the Canvas. So in this video, I'm going to focus on strategy and balance scorecard. Okay, so strategy. So strategy will specify how an organization creates value for customers while differentiating itself from competitors. So what can you do for the customer? Why you can do this differently from other people, right? So that's the strategy. If you don't have a strategy, then how can you attract customers? So a good understanding of the industry is critical to implementing a successful strategy, right? So if you want to do a successful business in an industry, you have to understand how this industry works, right? The core competence. So basically, so you want to consider corporate strengths, okay? And you need to maximize opportunity and dealing with the threats. So they often use the 5-force analysis. So intensity of the forces of competitive rivalry. So this economic forces will determine how competitive the business is in the industry, right? So let's think about Walmart, right, as one example. So the first force we want to consider is the threat of existing competitors, okay? So what are the competitors to Walmart? So Costco, Superstore, right? This would be considered as the competitors, right? And then next one is the supplier monopoly power. Okay, so there are lots of suppliers working with Walmart. So when dealing with Walmart, does these suppliers have a lot of power? The answer is no, right? So in fact, Walmart has a lot of power, right? Because Walmart is a very big platform, right, for any product. If you want to be successful in the market, you want more people know your brand. If Walmart is willing to work with you, that's a good news, right? So suppliers, they have to compete for bid to be the partner of Walmart. So I heard that often when Walmart was deciding to have a contract, Walmart will get all the suppliers into one room, okay, and then ask them to bid, and only the lowest bid will be survive, right? So suppliers in this case does not have any power. Threats of substitutes, right? So if people don't go to Walmart, they may go to other places, right? So Amazon, right? Amazon is a different type of business. It's online, right? So if people don't go to Walmart, people can go to Amazon, right? So the online shopping. So this is actually a big threat to the traditional business, right? So that's why even now, Walmart, they would have an online platform as well, right? Buyers power. So that's buyers have power because Walmart is already pretty cheap, right? So buyers likes to go there, and so the buyers does not have negotiation power, right? So I would say weak. Threat of potential entrance. Are there going to be new business, retail business like Walmart into the market? it will be very challenging, right? Because Walmart, Costco, they are very big players, right? So I would say the threat of the potential entrants are very low. So through that, you have a very weak power from the supplier and the buyer. You have low threats of the potential new competitors. So Walmart, I think, is in a pretty good business. So the major competitors would be just like Costco, like Superstore, this kind of business. So this case, okay, in this case, you can see the 5 forces analysis. So basic business strategies. The first one is called value leadership, product differentiation, right? So this is the business to provide superior and unique product to its customer, like Apple, right? You don't buy Apple iPhone, iMac, you can't buy it elsewhere other than from Apple, right? So that's product is very unique and it's a good product, right? So this is a value leadership, right? The product differentiation. So you have to get the things you want from me. In terms of in the grocery retailer business, so I'm thinking about Costco. It provides a unique service here. So you go there, you get cheaper gas, right? So you probably save 10 cents compared to other places, right? And then the parking space is very spacious. If I go to Superstore, I mean, the parking space is very narrow, right? But take a look at how they design the parking space, right? They purposely leave enough space between 2 vehicles, so people can get in out of the car more easily, right? And also, when they check out on your groceries, they work with 2 people. So in a team of 2, one person is scanning the product, working with the cashier, right, machine, and then the other person is helping to pack your stuff nicely, neatly, right, into the boxes, right? If you go to Walmart or go to Superstore, they will just throw you some bags. Now plastic bags is not allowed, so you have to bring your own bag. The point is, Costco is providing a very good service, makes the shopping experience more enjoyable, right? They even provide the cheap food, right? So the people sometimes will just go to Costco for the day, right? They can go in the morning and then shopping and then have lunch there, right? Or you have dinner there, right? Over the weekend. So this is what all different from other competitors like Walmart and Superstore, and also they were based on membership, right? So you have to have a membership in order to be admitted into the shopping. So this is quite a different service, right? Even Costco's product, they are catering to the families, right? So often the package are big. If you are single, you are the only one in the family, then it's going to take you a while to consume those products from Costco, right? And often they only pick 1 or 2 items of the same category, right? So it's also good for me because I don't like to make a choice among 5 or 6 different brands, right? So Costco already did the job for you. Costco carefully select their suppliers. So only those good product Costco wants to work with, right? So that's good. So you can see this is quite a different shop experience, and their product also different. Cost leadership. So the organization's ability to achieve lower cost relative to competitors. So therefore, they can go with cost leadership. So Walmart, right? So they would say always low prices, save money, live better. So basically, they're able to have a very tight cost control. They got a very good price from the suppliers, just because suppliers wants to work with Walmart, and they have to pay the very low price in order to be a partner for Walmart. So Walmart would be a cost leadership. Reducing cost. Often, if you automate your process, right? In this case, you are able to, have a good cost control. Buffet restaurant, right? So think about traditional restaurant. So the kitchen has to have almost all the materials ready, because you never know which customer walked in, what food the customer is going to order, right? And so you have to see the ordered the waiter has to take the order, and that order will trigger the work to be done, right? What materials needed. So that's not an automatic process, right? So basically, the customer order triggers the work, right? It's not an automatic process. But think about the buffet restaurant, right? This is considered as an automatic process because every day they will just prepare this 10 or 20 dishes and in this way, right? If you don't like it, then this is not for you. So whoever walked in, they know what they're going to get, right? So in that case, they don't have to wait for customer order. They just automatically, right, just do all these dishes. So they're able to save costs such as waste, right? If you, a big cost control issue with restaurant is the inventory, right? So you cannot keep your food fresh for too long, right? Even you put it into the freezer, right? If that food was not for sale for a while, basically those food vegetables, they will be spoiled. You have to throw them away, right? So for traditional restaurant, that would be a big cost, right? But for buffet restaurant, they pretty cheap because they don't have the inventory cost, right? The waste cost. And if you have a capacity, let's say your chef is not that busy, maybe use them to develop new products, right? Ask them to do a little bit, research and development to get new dishes, right? Because they are not busy anyways. So in that case, that's a very good cost control. And a successful new product will boost sales in the future, right? You have them around, you have all the equipment there. Why not, right? So how to select the appropriate strategy? So first, identify the problem. Is this a value leadership, or you want to be a cost leadership? And then the second step is to gather, analyze relevant information. Who are your competitors? Who are your customers you want to target? And what attributes of the product are necessary, required? And you're going to make a prediction about the future. So short life cycles of technological product means customer wait only a short time for better product. So that's kind of interesting because the technological products, they were updated very quickly, right? So that product can be updated every 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Like iPhone keep having new models, right? They keep adding new features, new models, right? Because that's also the customer's expectation. So that's important to know, right? Because you have to consider about the time, right? There was one time in early 2000. At that time, we don't have iPhone, so when we go somewhere, we have to buy a physical copy of map, right? So um, so at that time they also sell you those GPS, right? So you buy a device with little screen, right? And then you mounted that GPS to your car, and you enter your address. They will take you there. Sometimes they're not very accurate if you don't update it on time. When people sell me that GPS, they ask me if I want to have a 2 years insurance. I just laughed. I said, well, the amount of money I paid for this 2 year insurance, right? It's not worthy of it, because 2 years later, there's new product, right? Much better device. Who is going to even want to use it? Even if it's not broken, right? People probably will throw it away, have some better product. And then you make decisions. If the process is highly automatic, then you want to consider, right? They create the economics of scales and scope. So that means because you have automated process, you can keep the price low. So that therefore maybe cost leader strategy would be implemented, such as the buffet restaurant, right? Sometimes you go to sushi buffet. I remember I haven't been to sushi buffet for a long time, but I remember you probably can do a sushi buffet like within $15, something like that. So it's cost strategy, right? Keep it low. You implement the decision, evaluate performance, and learn. So you go with one direction, and now you have to make evaluations. Is this how am I doing? What did I learn from my experience? How can I improve it, right? So you have to improve internal process to increase yield, right? So you have an original internal process, and later on you realize that there's many different things you can change to make it more efficient, to make it better, right? So you can cut your cost, reduce opportunity for error, improve quality and speed. So this is also important, right? You want to make sure you have a good quality of product. Strategy map of key success factor. So you have 4 different perspective. So financial perspective, customer, internal business, and the learning and the growth. Okay. Financial aspect, of course, if the company is for profit, they want to make money, they want to grow their income, right? They want to grow revenue, they want to grow income. Customer perspective, you need to keep your customer happy, right? You need to increase your new customers. You need to have a larger market share, right? So internal business perspective. So for example, can you how long does that take you to deliver order? Is the delivery can be made on time? And what's the service response time, right? So this is the business process, how you deal with your customer, right? How would you provide your service, right? Learning and growth perspective. So how about your employees? Are they happy working for you? Okay. Do you train your employees properly so that they can do their job? They can qualify for doing their job. Okay. Do you provide feedback? Okay. So sometimes if your feedback is not on time, so then maybe people who made mistakes, they will always make mistakes, right? You have to be able to provide a real-time feedback, right? So you can see that basically from the bottom, that will support the upper level, and then it just go in eventually. All these factors will translate into the revenue growth, right? So your employee is satisfied, right? So that's good. So that means you probably have low turnover, and when you hire new employees, the training cost is very high, right? When you have employees trained, right, they understand how to make the stuff, how to provide the service. They know what I would consider as a good quality. And then the workers, they have the autonomy to do the things they want to do, okay? And then they have the feedback about whether they're doing right or not. So therefore, that manufacturing business process can be improved, right? Because employees are actively involved. So if this is improved, then maybe service response time, the delivery time, how long it takes to deliver, this will be all improved. And that if they are doing well with this internal process, your customer will be happy, right? And then we're gonna introduce new customers. You're gonna have a bigger market share, and happy customers, new customers, larger market share will all increase your revenue, and therefore your operating income will be higher. So you can see that. So basically, there are 4 different aspects, right? So from the bottom going to the up, so all these 3 aspects will have effect on the financial. So what is the balance scorecard? Balance scorecard translates an organization's mission and strategy into a set of performance measures that provide the framework for implementing its strategy. It's called the balance scorecard because it balances the use of financial and non-financial performance measures to evaluate performance. So performance should not be only evaluated based on the financial numbers, because there are also non-financial factors that are important. For example, customer satisfaction rating, right? So it's just a rating. It's not a financial number, right? But it is important. It's non-financial, but it's very, very important to the success of the business. So you can see this is the 4 perspective of a balanced scorecard: financial, customer, internal business, and learning and growth. So financial perspective, you have to create a value for the owner and the shareholder. Customer perspective, you have to add value for the customer to make them happy, to keep them, to increase new customers. Learning and growth, you have to invest in the organizational infrastructure. Okay. Internal business, you have to make sure efficiency and the quality in the value chain. So that's the 4 aspects of balanced scorecard. So the learning growth, internal business process, customer. This will be eventually translate into the financial numbers, right? Happy customers will increase your income, increase the customer. Internal business process will help make customer happy, right? Your improvement on the internal business process would require some learnings and growth among the employees. So let's take a look at this example. Okay, so you have different aspects. Let's take a look at the financial aspect first. So the measures, okay, the strategy, right? You want to increase operating income. So that's your strategy. So how can you increase? Then you need to have some measures. First, more effective capacity use, improve yield. So that's a little bit of cost saving. Increase operating income, increase revenue. Okay, so budget, you have 6% increase in revenue, but in fact it's 6.48%. So that's a good news. You budget a $3 million increase in the operating income. The actual is a 3.42 million. So that's great. Customer, okay. The goal is to increase their facility to meet the needs of the new customers. What's the measure, right? They want to meet the needs of new customers. Measures are market share, quantity of new groups, customer satisfaction. So if you are able to meet the need of new customers, that should be reflected by the customer satisfaction. Your budget is 90% of customer satisfaction. The actual is a little bit short by 3%. Market share, you are hoping to have a 6% increase. The actual is 7%. Internal business process, your goal is streamline key success factors in all business function. Okay, key success factors. So order delivery time less than 30 days, and you are able to do it within that time zone. On-time delivery ratio, so 92% of deliveries are on time. The actual is only 90%. And they talk about the quantity of innovation. So budget 5, actual 5. So you can see that the strategy, right? The strategy can be translated into different measures. Okay. Learning growth, develop and empower teamwork among employees. So that's the strategy for learning and growth. And what are the measures? Employee satisfaction. So 80%, in fact, it's 88%. So employees are very happy. Ratio of worker decision to total decision. Does the worker have autonomy in their working? The idea is if worker is more like a human being, have thoughts, they think, they make decision, they tend to be happier. People are not robots, right? They don't want asked to do everything by other people, right? They want to make their decisions because doing so will make them happy. Ratio employees trained, right? And ratio of real-time feedback. So this is all the measures for this strategy of developing, empowering teamwork among employees. So this balanced scorecard implication has to have commitment, leadership from the top management. It has to be starting from the top. Has to be communicated to all employees, right? All employees. You need to communicate the strategy to all the members. You need to motivate managers and the people to take actions that will lead to the positive change in the factors in the financial, in the balance sheet, balanced scorecard. You have to limit the number of measures, right? Don't make it so crazy. You have 12 measures for each category. then it will be out of control, right? You can't have that many measures. Just focus on the most critical one measures. Managers should not always assume the measure and the strategy have a causal relationship. Okay, so the link between the measure and the strategy does not always work, right? So we can't assume that link is always precise. They are only how we think they are hypotheses, right? We should not expect to seek performance improvement across all the measures. It's hard to improve everything at the same time, right? Objective measures is important, but it should not be always objective measures. Subjective measures are important. So for example, if one worker, he always help other workers so that his own performance is suffered a bit, but because he helped other workers, that's a big contribution, right? So if that's not an objective measure, and then people, the reputation, right, of employee maybe is a subjective measure. And you also have to consider cost, right? Because when we do anything, we only need to perform a cost and the benefit analysis. So often costs are overlooked when people are working with balanced scorecard. Managers should not use too many measures. Again, if you have too many measures, it's going to be crazy, right? It's hard to follow. And managers tend to focus on performance measurement rather than corporate success. So now you have these measures, right? So these measures ultimate goal is to help corporate success. But for the managers, now they only focus on the measures because this is how they are evaluated instead of focus on the corporate success, right? Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about this balanced scorecard. Thank you.